headlines and reporting Scotland this Tuesday lunchtime. 5 Metropolitan Police officers face misconduct investigations over a missing London woman whose body was found on a Scottish golf course. Scotland's share of investment from abroad has fallen. And the amateur orchestra from Stirling set to make a big noise on television. Hello, good afternoon. 5 Metropolitan Police officers have been told that they're facing misconduct investigations over a missing London woman whose body was found on a Scottish golf course. The remains of Saima Ahmed were found at Gogar Mount House on the edge of Gogarburn Golf Club in January. News of the investigations emerged as Mrs Ahmed's brother was in Edinburgh to appeal for information over her death. John McManus is there for us.
Yes, Graham, it's 1 year since Saima Ahmed boarded a train near her North London home close to Wembley Stadium, and Police Scotland think travelled up to Edinburgh, but they're not quite sure about how she got here. They think it was by train, but they're not sure because there's an absence of witnesses and, crucially, CCTV footage. Saima's family say that the original missing persons inquiry conducted by the Metropolitan Police wasn't high profile enough, and it allowed too much time to pass during which possibly crucial footage locating her whereabouts and her travels has been lost forever. They've made an official complaint about the Metropolitan Police, and today the body which investigates them, the Independent Police Complaints Commission, has said it is looking at misconduct carried out by 5 Metropolitan Police officers, though they are not implying any guilt at the moment. Well, 1 year on, Saima's brother Sadat has come here to the golf course where her remains were found in January to try to jog the memories of anybody who might have seen her or know anything about her disappearance. He told me that when the news of her death was confirmed at the start of the year, it was devastating for the family.
It was really tough because I think it was my mum who was at home on her own at the time, and she found out and she was really upset and hysterical, and it was just, I don't know, before that you kind of have hope, right, that maybe she's okay, maybe she's somewhere and she's fine, but once you find that out, it's the end of it.
Those misconduct inquiries relate to the Metropolitan Police. Police Scotland are now conducting this inquiry into what actually happened to Saima. They are appealing for anybody with any information to get in touch.
OK, John, thanks. A Nobel Prize-winning economist has said the Scottish Government's plans for a currency union with the UK during the 2014 independence campaign were a mistake. Joseph Stiglitz is part of the First Minister's Economic Advisory Council and advised Alex Salmond when he was in office. With the possibility of a second push for independence on the table in the wake of the Brexit vote, Mr Stiglitz says a Scottish pound could be seen as a transitional measure to joining the EU. Scotland's share of inward investment projects has fallen, according to new government figures, but across the UK as a whole, a record number of investments were made by foreign firms in the year to April 2016. Our business and economy editor Douglas Fraser can tell us more.
Foreign investment in the UK reached 2,200 projects in the 12 months to last April, up 11% on the previous year. And this report says 82,000 jobs were created that way, down slightly. Now, these included big new factories, expanded plants, branch offices, and also firms being taken over. And that may be good for the economy in opening up opportunities and new funding, or bad if it draws corporate control and technologies out of the country. The sectors most involved in foreign investment are finance, professional services, and manufacturing, drawn by the relative ease of doing business here, the skills and the tax regime, and also by Britain's access to Europe's single market. Although London dominates, Scotland is rated highly for its attraction to foreign investors. However, the total number of projects has fallen in Scotland for the past 2 years, down 10% last year to 108 projects, bringing 4,200 new jobs. That's while Northern England saw a rise of nearly a quarter. The UK government report does not say why Scotland's share has fallen, but it's probably affected by the slump in the oil and gas sector, and investors may be discouraged by political uncertainty. Maintaining Britain's attractiveness to foreign investors will be a key test of the UK government's strategy in negotiating its exit from the European Union.
Now, an amateur orchestra based in central Scotland is hoping to prove it's the best in Britain. Stirling Orchestra is the only Scottish finalist in a new BBC competition which begins tonight. And Andrew Anderson's been to meet them.
Isn't this exciting?
Exciting and perhaps just a little terrifying. Stirling Orchestra take to the stage, nerves drawn as tight as the strings.
1, 2.
It's round one to find the UK's top amateur orchestra. Stirling are flying the flag for Scotland. The conductor is confident.
We have a huge range of abilities, if you like, within the orchestra, but you can still achieve a really successful concert if you look for everyone to play together well.
Back in Stirling, it's practice night for the players and their followers. The piece is demanding, but the effort brings rewards.
Coming to orchestra once a week sort of forces you into that routine of having to get the instrument out of the case, on a regular basis, and that in turn improves your playing, over a longer period of time, and it's enjoyable as well.
250 orchestras from across the UK tried out for this classical battle of the bands. Stirling made it to the final 5. The judges want some fine-tuning.
You're good, but you don't do what's in the parts.
There was just 8 weeks between the first rehearsal and the first knockout round. It's meant a lot of hard work.
This orchestra usually plays before audiences of a few hundred, but in the coming weeks they'll be seen and, more importantly, heard by hundreds of thousands of viewers up and down the country.
And they want others to follow.
I really hope that those people who have got violins under the bed and trumpets in the cupboard will be inspired to dust them down and come along and be welcomed as I was all those years ago.
For this orchestra, music is more a passion than a profession, and they're going all out to show they're the best in Britain. Andrew Anderson, reporting Scotland, Stirling.
And you can see how Stirling get on in the first round of the competition. That's tonight at 9 o'clock on BBC4 in All Together Now, the Great Orchestra Challenge. Now let's find out what the weather has in store. Christopher Blanchett's at the map for us.
Graham, thank you. Hello there, good afternoon to you. Well, generally dry and bright conditions across the country this afternoon with some decent spells of sunshine. We can see on the satellite picture the cloud that was around this morning continuing to thin and break. A bit thicker though towards the Solway coast there and certainly out towards the northwest. But for many, like this picture from one of our weather watchers, the sunshine, the blue sky breaking through. But it will be breezy from the southwest. We can see the tightly packed isobars there and a weather front looming, bringing some rain for the West Isles later. But for many, a dry, bright, breezy afternoon, a good wash day if nothing else. And temperatures pleasantly warm by mid-afternoon, low 20s across the northeast, maybe mid-20s. Cooler around the west coast, and there's that weather front. There's that rain just edging in through the Western Isles, reaching the northwest coast this evening. But most areas staying dry until well after dark. The rain, though, does come in, working its way across the country. So it's a breezy, cloudy, wet night, but a mild night. Temperatures there holding in the teens. So to tomorrow, and initially probably wet across the south and Shetland, but that clears. And then it's a bright and breezy day, albeit with a number of showers. These most frequent and heaviest in the west and northwest, driven in on a strong westerly wind. Fresher feel tomorrow, temperatures around 18 to 20 Celsius, warmest in the east where the sunshine is around longest. Looking ahead towards Thursday, a ridge of high pressure, it's a lot of dry weather around, but you'll see lurking out west, more rain on the way, certainly as we head through towards the afternoon, moving in from the west coast. That's the forecast for now.
Christopher, thank you for that. And that's all for this lunchtime. We're back at 6:30 tonight, but from all of us in the Lunchtime team, have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.